everybody, it's Penny Shelton here of PennyShelton.com, and this is a new episode of Foodie Friday. Well, for those of you who've been watching my videos for any length of time, you know that I'm a big fan of Blue Zones. Blue Zones started out as a study by Dan Buettner, who was a National Geographic fellow, and he became fascinated in studying the diet and lifestyle practices of the oldest living people all throughout the world. One of the things that he has learned through the decades now of his studies is the mainstay of their diet is beans. So today, we're gonna go into the Real Food Kitchen and we're going to make a delicious and super simple white bean burger. Let's go do it. Well, it's true that beans reign supreme in the Blue Zones diet. On their website right now, looking at their recommended amount of beans, they're suggesting that we should be eating at least a half of a cup of beans every single day. They are the cornerstone of every longevity diet on the planet. That is any kind of bean or legume. People in the Blue Zones eat 4 times the amount of beans that the average American eats. The burgers that we're going to be making today have at least a half of a cup in every serving. Another thing I love about this recipe is the ingredients are extremely affordable. We're going to start off with 1 zucchini, which we'll chop a little bit and add it to a food processor. Drained and rinsed can of white beans, cannelli beans, Great Northern beans, any white bean will work. Do 2 tablespoons of diced onion, a half of a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/4 of a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, 1/4 of a cup of ground flaxseed, and 1/4 of a cup of organic oat flour. Start by preheating your oven to 350. To a food processor, add 2 cups of white beans, and then add 1 coarsely chopped zucchini. If it's organic, you can go ahead and leave the peel on. You'll want to pulse chop the white beans and the zucchini, and you'll need to stop several times to scrape down the edges. We'll add the 2 tablespoons of onion, 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, which I like a little extra obviously, 1/4 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a little bit of Himalayan salt, and you'll pulse chop that for about another minute. Once you have that consistency, add in the 1/4 of a cup of ground flax seeds and a 1/4 of a cup of oat flour. Pulse chop those ingredients until well incorporated, probably about another minute. Here's the finished consistency, and now with your hands, make patties and put them onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet for 25 to 30 minutes in a 350-degree oven. So for me, this recipe made 5 patties, and we are going to add it to my little toaster oven. Well, I'm about halfway through cooking, and I just took a small spatula and flipped the burgers over so that they can cook evenly on both sides. And now I'm preparing the toppings and everything that I want to have to be able to serve these burgers. So you can obviously use a bun if you would like to do that, but I'm going to use some really delightful romaine lettuce leaves, and that's going to be the base or the bun, so to speak, of what I'm going to serve it on. You saw the beautiful vine-ripened cherry tomatoes. In the middle of winter, tomatoes just aren't any good. And the only tomatoes that have any flavor, in my experience, are the small cherry or grape tomatoes. I'm going to chop some of those up, and that will go on top. I'm also going to do some avocado slices, and look how gorgeous. Perfect. So we're going to do some slices. One of my favorite things, I pickled some red onions, and I'll add that recipe underneath this video as well. These are delicious. They can go on so many things, and they'll keep in the refrigerator for quite a long time. I also have some sunflower sprouts, which are highly nutritious, that I'll top it with. And I found this dressing. It's tropical ginger, fresh pineapple, and miso by Organic Girl. It's vegan. It's just so good. So that's gonna be my sauce. You could absolutely do mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, whatever is your jam. These burgers should be done pretty soon, and I'm looking forward to putting it together and showing you the finished plate. I tried to make an artistic presentation, but I decided that I'm just too hungry to, make it all that great. So I've built myself a little bite. Forgive me for the big mouthful. Oh my God, you guys, I've left this patty crispy on the outside, just a little bit soft on the inside. The pickled onions really make it. Tropical ginger, fresh pineapple, and miso, Organic Girl vinaigrette. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's so worth it. One more bite. I have all the components here. Beans, they're good for your heart. I would suggest doubling the recipe and preserving them. So when you have a busy day, you have something quick and delicious to eat. Here's to living long, my friends.